turn the music on. Turn the live on.
Way too much fun. This is supposed to be work.
We gotta laugh.
Good morning, good morning. This is a great day to get started. We are having a ball here at Stone Inch Country Club in Chesterfield. Can you feel me, Veera?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's been a great morning so far, and we are so happy that you are able to join us again. This, like I mentioned before, this is a marathon. This is our second day of Transformation Power Hour, honoring the goddess within, 21st century goddesses living unapologetically. All right? So take a deep breath. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful year, and it's time for us as women to really focus on what is it that we are here to do. No more living in the shadows, no more worrying about his story, what's behind us. Let's move ahead and focus on what's ahead of us. Her story, and her story is, I am enough. So yesterday we spoke about the lost girls. Let her know it's okay to let go. We spoke about birthing a new age woman, what that means, what that looks like, what you should be doing moving forward. And then we also spoke about a new age woman living without apologies. Now today, our first topic will be empowering women to become business owners. And then finally we will wrap up with a bright new future for 21st century goddesses born to win. And this piece will focus more on our younger generation because they are our future. Okay? All right, so what does it mean to be a goddess? You see, I'm a goddess. I declare I'm free. I know you heard this yesterday, but listen to me. I want you to understand what it means to be a goddess. Not from only my perspective, but as we collaborate and connect, what does it mean for you to present yourself to contribute to the greater good of making our presence and contribution a generational gift to nations? I am a goddess. I declare I'm free. When I take a look at you, you multiply me. You see, approval from men, I seek not to incur, because the goddess in me love reflects and walks in our own destiny. There's so much to do that could never be done. Join me in love and laughter, let's have some fun. I seek to build up, not to destroy. My joys today, I pray, reflect love in one universal sound. So if you feel me, if you are a woman today that's a 21st century goddess mindset, new age, that means that we're looking forward, we're not looking behind us. Her story, I am enough. If you're looking forward to creating and telling her story, I want you to wave at me right now on live. Because I know we have some people. Hey, hey, hey girl, hey. As Charvette will say.
Yes.
So, our guest here today is Miss Veera. Before I tell about me, for those of you who don't really know who I am and what I do and what I'm about, I'm going to let our guest, the goddess, begin our session. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Veera.
Shawna, I am Veera Spencer Gray, and I am so honored to be here today as your special guest. I want to say that I actually have a corporate background. I started out working with Exxon Corporation, and I stayed with them for about 9 years. And it was before 9 years that I actually realized that I wanted something more. I needed to own my own business. And so I actually resigned and then started serving on boards of directors and started helping set up nonprofit type corporations. And that was when I lived in Atlanta. And so I actually moved to Virginia shortly thereafter and had the opportunity to own a business called Virginia Educational Products. And in doing so, I realized that I loved owning my business and I loved empowering others to do the same. And so today I am so excited to share that I am a business owner. I own my own Mary Kay business.
Let's pause on that one. Woo, woo. For how many years?
For 20 years.
Woo, girl.
Yes,
That's what's up.
Yes,
That's what's
so
up.
I am excited, and in 20 years I've been blessed to earn 12 free cars, and on my way now to being able to earn my 13th free car in Mary Kay. So I'm so excited to be here. Just really feeling exhilarated today to be here to share with women how they can empower themselves.
Oh, thank you, Veera, for sharing. That is awesome. We're going to get more in depth into exactly what you're doing and how you have been able to successfully help other women to grow their business because
Okay.
you're all about the business.
Yes.
I know. I'm so glad to be attached to you. So, yesterday some of our conversations geared around, I'm enough, flying high. What does it mean to fly high? Who told you who you were? Going from good to great. We're going to get more into that today. And today we're going to focus a little bit also as we focus on business, women as business owners. We're also going to talk about confidence. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to show up confidently? What does it take for a woman to step out and step into her space and own it? And what does that look like? So we're going to talk more about that. Yes. So I am Shawna Halley. A little bit about me for those of you who may not know who I am or know what I'm about. I'm a life evolution strategist. I'm a transformational success speaker, an author, a coach. I do a lot of things. But at the end of the day, what I want to do for you for 2020 is for us to live into her story, for us to work together, to collaborate, to collectively make our presence and contribution a generational gift to nations. I hope you understand that statement. A generational gift to nations. No more looking back. No more worrying about what has been. What has been, has been. That's why it's called has been. That means it has no energy. Right?
Exactly.
So we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on what it means for me to be me and to be a business owner. What would it take? And Veera is very experienced in that area, so I'm going to allow her to talk most of the time. I'm just going to interject little pieces here and there. I am a business owner as well, so I have some things to share, and I will share also some of my challenges and some areas that I've been able to overcome and to continue to stay focused as a business owner. But as we move into that piece, before I ask Veera our very first question, I have something to share because I want you to settle into this mindset of confidence because you have to wear it. You have to wear it. Confidence is something that you have to put on. It's not, you have to become it, you have to act like it, and just to go back to act like a lady, think like a man. As I mentioned yesterday, that's a piss poor excuse and a pathetic plan. Focus on what it means for you to be confident. Focus on what it means for you to be a goddess, a woman. Not to think like a man, but to think like a woman and a goddess that is unstoppable in her space in 2020. Your vision, is it clear? Your business, what do you want? It says confidence is a muscle. Use it or lose it. Be aware of what makes you feel confident. Do it often. Trust the process. Be open to grow. Learn to be independent of the good opinions of others. Confidence is situational and it's okay. Develop or cause it to diminish. Refine and tone it or allow it to wobble. Creatively embody its energy or permit a less than life. Own it now. Confidence begins with you trusting the power within. Get started. Go. Confidence is to think and to practice what you want, being the person you want to become, and to envision yourself in that space. You will wake up one day to find that you have become the image you hold steady in your mind. I love myself. I release doubt. That's what confidence is all about. Confidence is about being open to discovering inner light and to know inner light and darkness, embrace them equally. Why judge? Why separate? Why not celebrate? Consciously create. Our shadow balances our light. Let's love, accept, and be open to discovering them both. That's what confidence is all about. It's knowing that there's an ebb and flow, knowing there's a process. Know that there's parts of me that still need to be developed, and there's parts of me that I need to own and be confident that I am already in that space. So let's move into the first question. You ready, Veera?
I'm ready.
All right. So as a business owner, and you've been a successful business owner for over 20 years, what would you have to say to women that are seeking to um, either they're already in a business but they're feeling like they want to give up, or they want to start a business? What would you say to them?
First of all, I would say congratulations to anyone who is already a business owner. And then I would say woohoo to those of you who are considering owning a business. It is one of the greatest decisions I ever made, was deciding to step out on faith. And I do want to say that too, that for me, being a business owner has required a lot of faith. And so walking in faith means that you know great things are going to happen, but you don't see them all the time. But you have a knowing that great things are going to happen. And so I would encourage the powerful, powerful women out here who are considering or who are owning their business to build your faith. And that's something that I work on constantly, is building my faith and recognizing that I've been called to do this. And because I have the faith that I've been called to do it, then I know that I have within me what it takes to make it happen. It doesn't matter what other people do. And that's a big lesson that I had to learn, and Shawna, you have helped me with that as we have just continued to communicate and share with each other, is that it doesn't matter what other people think, what they do or don't do, that my success is my success. And so my success in owning my own business is actually, number one, built on my faith and knowing that this is what I am supposed to do,
Right.
and knowing that I am successful and that I will become even more successful.
Awesome, awesome. So I know I have encountered many women, as I coach and I speak and travel, is that many of them want to, but there's that want to, and then there's that doubt. They're wanting to get into business. Sometimes they don't know what business to get into. Where would you recommend that they start if they're thinking about becoming business owners?
I would suggest making a list. I'm big on making a list. I'm big on writing things down. I would suggest making a list of things that bring you joy. What makes your heart sing? I would start with that, and then as you start thinking about that and thinking about those moments that were the highlights of your life, I believe that will help you figure out what it is you should do in terms of owning your own business. Because if you don't do it that way, and if you own a business where it is just all about, owning, if it's all about the money, or if it's just one dimensional, then you might as well just go ahead and keep working a regular job, which I've been taught is the journey of the broke. So make that list. What makes your heart sing? What brings you joy? And then start looking around. You can start Googling, go to the library, go to the Chamber of Commerce, and start thinking about businesses and thinking about a need that's lined up with what it is that brings you joy.
Wow, that's good. I heard another acronym, JOB, meaning something else, just over broke.
Exactly.
And when we think about a job, sometimes we don't think about, sometimes you may make the money, but then being in that environment steals your joy.
Yes.
So you still broke in
Exactly.
some way.
Exactly. Your spirit is broken, and that's where I was when I worked for what was the biggest corporation in America. When you get to work at 8 a.m., and I had a nice office, but when you look around your office and you literally say to yourself, why am I here? And so by 8:30, you really are in a you're in a whole different state. And so when I recognized that that was not bringing me joy, that I needed to do something different, that within 30 minutes of me getting in that office, that I knew I had to get out of that environment. So you're right. I was making a lot of money with that company. I had a company car with them. But if you're doing something that's not just making your heart sing, then I suggest that everyone rethink that. This is a brand new year. It's a brand new opportunity to think about again what makes your heart sing.
Vera, how do you feel, how important is goal setting and having a vision board? Because I know you and I had several conversations, and you mentioned how in the beginning in college, someone asked you to do a vision board, and you were like, let me let you tell the story.
Wow, oh, wow, Shawna, you remember that. You remember that. Okay, so my first experience with the vision board was actually back in college, and one of my instructors insisted that we all do a vision board. And she explained what we were going to do, get a poster board and cut out all these pictures and all these things of basically your dreams. Is what she wanted us to do. And I remember being in college and really, not having a whole lot of money, and my vision was not that clear at that point. And I just remember thinking, and I literally said to her, "Why are we doing this? I feel like a third grader cutting out pictures and all this kind of thing." And she insisted, she said, "There's a reason for this." So, when you have a leader, how many of us know it's important to trust your leader, to have a leader that you can trust? So my professor insisted that we do it. I remember vividly at the top of that vision board, the first one I created, I put a lot of money, dollar signs and things up there, a lot of money up there, because I needed money. At that time, I did not have a car. I put a picture of a new car. I was determined to own my own business. I put a woman with a briefcase on there and a great big old desk. And so the point, I also wanted to be a great tennis player. Because at the time, I was dating a guy who said, "You'll never be that great at tennis." And so let me just say, I have won tournaments, okay? But anyway, all the things that I put on that vision board came true. And so that was my first experience of creating a vision board. So it is important. We know that when you have vision, it means that you are already seeing things in the supernatural that you're believing are going to happen in the natural. And so I am very, very big on vision boards, and that was my first experience.
Awesome. So I'm gonna embarrass myself here and tell my story, my vision board story with Veera.
Oh my gosh!
When I met Veera years ago, I became a Mary Kay independent consultant, and she is my director. And she asked us, as part of growing our business, to bring in a goal poster board. Okay, so I went to the store and I bought a gold. I bought a gold poster and I brought it in. I did my homework. I was feeling good. When I got there and saw what a gold poster board looked like, where everybody had their pictures and all that stuff, it was interesting. And I'm saying I'm putting myself on blast right now, as the young people will say, is I was 35.
Right.
So I'm saying all that to say that it's never too late to get on track with what it is that you want as a woman. Your business, if that's what even if you've been dreaming about it for 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever it is, as long as there's life, there's hope. So what I want to make sure that you understand and be able to embrace is, wherever you are, is to start where you stand with what you have.
Exactly.
Start where you stand with what you have, and to move forward from there. So Veera, I appreciate you for introducing me to a higher version of myself, because a vision board is actually a higher version of yourself, and you're stepping into that.
Right.
So if you're standing here, the vision is over there. You step forward and you step into that.
Exactly.
So what has been as a leader and a business owner who has several, you're in a leadership position of many. What has been your greatest challenge to helping women? Because I know most of the people who you work with, the consultants who you work with, are women. What have been your greatest challenge?
I would say that the greatest challenge in working with women and getting them to recognize their potential, recognize their greatness, is getting them to believe in themselves. To believe, to not just say it, but to believe deep in their heart that they can accomplish anything, that anything they set their mind to, that they can do it. I have met some of the sharpest, most accomplished women ever. What I have found, though, is that they may be accomplished in maybe doing something that they've been used to doing. However, when it comes to having faith in themselves to do something that they are not accustomed to doing, then that's where the challenge comes in, where they are also not willing to step out to make their own decisions. So many of them are used to people telling them what to do. And so when you say to them, you are a business owner, I am your business coach, I am your mentor, then there are certain things though that you're going to have to do on your own. That is where I see the biggest challenge is that so many women don't believe in themselves, and then they're really walking in fear oftentimes and thinking that, I just simply cannot do it. And so some of them become paralyzed because of fear.
Wow. And I think I was listening to Les Brown, and he talked about fear in the form of procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are their fear is masked by procrastination, and procrastination is one of the biggest thieves of dreams.
Exactly.
So even if someone may not realize that, okay, I'm not afraid, but if you're not doing anything, it's something that's keeping you from doing that.
Exactly.
It's something that's keeping you from
Yes.
moving in that direction. So one of the things we always want to make sure that we understand is what's fueling my indecision.
Exactly. That is so powerful, Shawna. And we know that when we are procrastinating, oftentimes that fear is based on what happens if I don't do something in the right way, or some women are afraid of success.
Mm-hmm.
They are afraid that something that's so great is going to happen that they're not going to be able to handle it. And I mean, when you look at things that way, where you're afraid of not being successful and then you are afraid of being too successful, that can paralyze you again.
You're stuck in the middle.
Yes. So
stagnant energy.
exactly. You're on the fence, and it's tough to be on a fence.
Yeah, well,
Hurts.
don't we talk about being neutral all the time, being on the
Yes.
fence,
Yeah, yeah.
And neutral is a place where you pause.
Exactly.
It's a place to pause. It's not a place for you to sit.
Thank you.
And I was listening to one of the Mary Kay director's recordings that you gave to me. This was years ago, and she said, it's like climbing a mountain. My sights are set up here to go. This is where I am. But some of us start to go up the mountain, and then we find a little seat.
Yes.
We're not just resting.
Right.
We go ahead and we sit down.
Exactly. Exactly, Shauna. What
And
I find,
stay.
Exactly.
Like,
But it's like I say, you know what? If all of us decided that we're going to New York, and then we get to Fredericksburg and we have a flat tire, what are we going to do? We're going to fix that flat tire, and we're not going to just say, well, I might as well stay here.
right.
I have an obstacle that has come up. We're going to get back on track. And so that's another thing that I see women doing is that the very first obstacle that comes up, they figure out, oh my gosh, I don't know how I can, overcome this hurdle. And that is simply amazing to me, is that, we've all been taught at an early age is that you keep going, you look for another solution. And so that's another challenge that I see with women who are business owners is that, you keep going. You have that confidence, as you said earlier, in yourself and in the business that you own to know that if you just keep taking one step after the other, then you will get to the top of that mountain.
Right. And some steps are a little bit shorter.
Yes.
Some a little, some are leaps.
Yes.
But just to kind of piggyback off of what you said about, you get to Fredericksburg, you have a flat tire, you go ahead and you fix it. How important is it for us to have the tools?
Yes.
Not only internal tools. Let's talk about the internal first, because that's
Right.
first, and then let's
Yes.
talk about the external tools that are necessary. Because I know I'm going on this trip.
Right.
How do I prepare myself for potential
Exactly.
challenges or setbacks?
Exactly. Well, as I said earlier, you do your research, and then I think it's so important to make sure that you're working with a mentor who has already taken that trip. Who can tell you about that trip? I'm about to go to Orlando, Florida right now, and I just met a beautiful lady who's from Orlando. So I'm asking her questions about what to do. She's familiar with it. So I think it's very important to prepare yourself by talking to someone who's already been on that route that you're on, who can help you know what to expect. What are some of the pitfalls that you might encounter? And then when you do, how can you overcome them? How can you get to the other side of where you're going? And so it's important to do that. And then whatever business you decide to enter into, find out what is it that you need. What type of materials do you need? What type of resources? What type of income are you going to need? You're going to need some type of capital. So finding all that out ahead of time is going to be a great big help. What type of knowledge do you need? And again, that's where a mentor can come in. Someone who's already where you are, or someone who's been where you want to go.
Right. And mentor and coaching. one of my coaches told me that you can see the picture when you're in the frame.
Oh,
You cannot see the picture when you're in the frame. So if I am in the frame, someone outside, that's why most professional players have coaches.
yes.
Because when you are trying to hit the ball or you're trying to shoot, you can't see all the action that's going on
Exactly.
around you. So there's
Exactly.
someone that's out there that can see that
Right.
and then can point it out to you to tell you how to maneuver. You have to be listening. Like my son is was a professional boxer. He have a coach on the side,
Yes.
on the side of the ring, because the coach can tell when the person is about to do,
Exactly.
and he can tell him to shift
Yes.
or to do something to that effect. So when it comes to having a mentor, it's important for people to understand the importance of it. But one of the things that I keep hearing is that nobody needs a coach, especially when it comes to business, especially when it comes to people evolving their lives and making themselves improving whatever area they need to improve. They see the investment as too much.
Right.
And I'm just going to put this out there, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you want something. You want something,
Yes.
and what would you go out and you spend a lot of money on shoes? You'll spend a lot of money on your hair.
Mhm.
You'll spend a lot of money on just stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you want a business and you're not willing to invest
Right.
to get the tools, to get the support that you need
Exactly.
to grow that business that can give you all those other things that you're holding on to temporarily.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. When you're working with a professionally trained coach, or again, someone who's already accomplished in the field that you're in or the business that you're looking to go into, then here's someone who can offer you all kinds of advice on how to get where you're going quicker.
Mm-hmm.
They've been trained to guide you step by step. And so if you think about, coaches are there to help you win. So why wouldn't you want a coach who is, as you said, they're on the sidelines, they're in the background, and they're in the forefront too when you need them to be in the forefront, and someone who can help you analyze what are your strengths, what are the things you might need to work on to, again, help you get where you want to go. So I highly believe in coaching, and I just am so excited to just know that that's one of the things that you do, Shawna, and you do it so well. So I encourage anyone who owns a business or you are looking to own a business, make sure you do get a coach, get a mentor. It's very important that you invest in yourself. You
Yes.
cannot do it by yourself.
It's an investment.
It's an
You want to
investment.
get a return.
That's what it's about.
That's what business is
Investing.
about, right?
It is. You're looking for a big return, so invest in yourself.
So, I'm part of a group called E-Women Network, and it's an international group.
Yes.
And one of the things that our founder, Sandra Yancey, mentioned as she shared, because I was in Dallas for our annual conference, she shared how she got started, and there were times when she wanted to give up, and she had to go in her closet and just clean, just kind of detox it
Yes.
and take the stuff and sell
Yes.
so she can pay for a coach, because she went to a coach. And the coach, she was trying to figure, she was trying to make a deal.
Right. We
And
love deals.
Right. And the coach said, "That's not how I do my business." And we're on business topic, right?
Yes.
She said, "That's not how I do my business."
Right.
So Sandra had to go back and figure out, how much do I want this?
Exactly.
How much do I need this?
Yes.
And then she figured out a way, and we know two emotions can't take the same space at the same time.
Mhm.
So if you have a problem, you have to put down the problem so you can pick up the solution.
Exactly. Exactly. And my dad always said, people do what they want to do. So I've seen that happen. I'll give an example. I've had business owners who work with me through the years to say, you know what, there's no way I can afford to do a certain thing. And this is the truth. There was a situation where there was a woman who kept telling me that I just cannot make this happen. And then a few weeks later, the person who had sponsored her said to me, Judy is going to Africa. And so I literally started laughing because I know that it takes $3,000 to $5,000 to get to Africa. And so people do what they want to do. She wanted to go to Africa, and she made it happen. So people who are interested in advancing their business and they're interested in taking their business to the top, I believe you would recognize that coaching is a great investment that is going to pay off dividends for you. So again, make a decision. How important is your business to you?
Right, right. And how do you stay on the cutting edge, Vera? Because I know there are a lot of. Uh, can we talk about Mary Kay?
Yes, sure.
Okay, there are a lot of um, beauty care products out there, but Mary Kay has been around for a while.
Yes.
And how do you stay relevant and make sure that Mary Kay doesn't get caught up in the hype and the trending? Because we know a lot of products are sometimes they trend and then they just
Exactly.
fall away. But you, Mary Kay has been consistent for many, many, many. How many years?
We've been around since 1963.
Okay, okay,
So-
so that's a long time.
So yeah,
Talk about a
1960.
business that's branded and have a firm
Exactly.
foundation.
Exactly. So I am just so honored to say that with Mary Kay, number one, we are a Christian-based company. Our company philosophy is that we put God first, our family, and then our career. And how many of us know in that order, everything works out. And so Mary Kay offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. We work with the highest quality dermatologists and testing, and so that when we actually produce a product and put it out in the market, we know that it's great because we've already tested it over and over again. So when we offer that 100% satisfaction guarantee, we know we are producing the best quality product out there. So that's one of the reasons I've been able to stick around for 20 years, is knowing that I can look anyone in the face and say, I believe that this is going to be the best product for you. And if for some reason you don't agree, you can return it to either get your money back or you can do an exchange.
Okay, okay, awesome. So let's get back to women as business owners. In everyone that has made a decision to be a business owner, where they are now, what are some tips that you can give? I know you've already shared some, but is there anything that you didn't share that you think will be important for women as business owners to know in 2020?
I would encourage women to make it a habit of getting up early in the morning. That's something that I do, and I know you do as well,
Yes.
Shawna. Get up early in the morning when it's peaceful, it's quiet, and you can think things through. So for me personally, I always do a devotional in the morning. I always have devotional time, and that gets me centered for the day. I believe in exercising, not just your mind, but your body as well. So that's something that I do. So women, I would say, let's make sure we operate in self-care. That would be the biggest thing I would say, is to operate in self-care, because when you're taking care of yourself, it causes you to think clearer.
Yes.
It causes you to think clearer. So when you're thinking clearly, you can make decisions quicker and you can make better decisions when you're thinking clearer. So self-care is going to be so important, I believe, in 2020.
Awesome. Okay. So my philosophy and the framework that I approach most of my my coaching and my speaking and my online programs from is the 5 P's. And it's called prepare, to be positive and proactive, and practice the process. So preparation, when we think about our business, preparation, being positive, being proactive, and then practice, which is doing the work. Well, I guess all of them is doing the work,
Yes,
and you have to do the work.
exactly.
And then remember, it's a process. Don't give up too soon.
Right.
How does that relate to helping women to grow their business and setting the right foundation?
Well, you know, Shawna, as you said earlier, we're talking about the importance of planning, being prepared, so that when things come up, you're not shocked, you're not thrown, you know, you're not, we talked about going to Fredericksburg, you're going to make sure you have a spare tire, you're going to have the tools to change that tire if you don't have some type of service to show up. And so being prepared is a big part of it. And then when the obstacles come, making sure that you persist until you find the solution, because I am a firm believer that there's always a solution to every challenge that we face. And so that has served me well. So I would encourage women business owners to just make sure that you are preparing. And that's a constant process. It's not that, oh, I prepared Sunday night, so I'm good for the week.
Right.
It is a daily, constant effort to make sure that you are on top of things, and you're constantly looking out for what else. I'm always asking myself, what's next? What should I be doing next what should I be thinking next? And so doing, it does help you be prepared, and it helps you create for the future so that you can continue to grow your business. You don't want to just start your business. You want to make sure you're growing your business. And that's something that I am proud of, that in 20 years, not only have I continued to grow, but my business has continued to grow as well.
Awesome. Positivity. You know, some people said that's woo-woo. You know, somebody said to me, why are you always so positive? Because I can choose the other and I choose not to.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my goodness, being positive, I literally have physically run away from negative people. If I'm around someone and they start being very negative, I'm like, excuse me 1 second, I have to go over here. And I literally mean that, I have to go over there, because you know what, how our parents taught us to be careful who we hang around. Birds of a feather, they flock together. And then I know what they meant by that is that you're not going to hang around something with, and not be affected by it. So if you're around a bird, some of those feathers will fly off, and the next thing you know, you're looking like that bird. So negativity, I'm not trying to go there. So birds of a feather flock together, and you know that, and people that you do love hanging around, you have similar thoughts, you have similar vision, you have similar goals. And so negative people, a negative person said that to you. A positive person would not have asked you that question. I get asked that question all the time. What is it about you? What is it about you? And I always tell them, honestly, with me, it always starts with my faith. And then it starts with me knowing that I have been, a conqueror in the things that I've been able to overcome. And so once you overcome a lot of obstacles through your faith and through you doing your very best, then you can look anyone in the eye and say, yeah, I'm very positive.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
So proactive. Again, it seems like this all ties together, because if you prepare, if you're preparing constantly, that means you're proactive. Is there any specific things as women business owners that they can do proactively now if they're interested in becoming, for real, business owners?
Right.
Not just playing around, because I know some people say they want a business, but then they treat it like a hobby.
Exactly. Oh, that is so important. And that is being willing to write down the vision that you have for your business, and then have an idea of what you want from that business. And then, as we said earlier, you are going to start pulling together those resources, whether or not you need money to invest. And there's always some type of monetary investment. So you've got to figure out where that's coming from. And then as far as continuing to be proactive, then you're starting to analyze where you are and where you want to go. And so you're always creating, you're always planning, and that causes you to be proactive so that you don't have to be reactive. Proactive means I've already had some things in place so that when situations come up, I'm already prepared. There's our word again, prepared. And so that I don't have to be blown away because I was not prepared. And I was proactive early on, knowing that changes would come. And so now I don't have to be scared. I don't have to be, afraid because I'm being reactive. So,
right. Yeah. And, most people live their lives in a state of reactivity.
Yes.
They're just, something happened and they don't even take a breath. Oh, there, Veera, take a breath.
Oh, okay.
Eminem.
Thank you. Yay. Thank you, Shawna.
Okay, mindful moment. When something happened, don't be reactive. Take a moment, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what does this mean? Because sometimes things are happening so we can shift and change direction. It's not happening to you, it's happening through you and for you.
Exactly.
So we have to make sure that we are in line with that. And then, like Veera mentioned, being proactive and being prepared and being positive. If I am preparing for a journey, then I have my checklist.
Yes. Yes.
And if I have my checklist to know what I need to take, what things that, stops I need to make along the way. And, a journey is like going to Fredericksburg. There are small gas stations that you can just stop and to fuel up.
Exactly.
And then there are larger gas stations where you may stop, fuel up, get something to eat.
Right.
And so you can treat your business the same way with going to conferences, educating yourself, being proactive,
Yes.
is that there are things that I need to keep my business on the road,
Exactly.
so to speak.
Exactly.
So if I'm going to keep my business on the road, what are the short stops I need to make? How am I educating myself? How am I preparing myself?
Right.
Who am I connecting with
Exactly.
to keep my business floating and growing? And then what are the big things for
Right.
2020? What are some big growth areas that I need to make sure I put myself in a position to do, like some conferences?
Yes.
You're going to a
Yes.
conference, aren't you?
In a few days, I'm
Yeah.
headed to Orlando, Florida. And as you said, I will have a checklist. I mean, how many times have you forgotten your phone charger? Simply because you didn't write it on that list. You thought, I am going to remember that. So being proactive, making those lists, definitely investing in conferences that are going to, provide information, provide techniques for you that, again, I believe in what I call massive results. And so you can get massive results because you are investing in your business and you are proactive. You've already thought these things through. And so when you do that, you can expect to have the results based on what you invested. How much time are you investing in reading about whatever business you're in? How many times are you out here talking to people who've already walked the walk that you're about to walk? And so I just know that it's important. I definitely have invested in my business for 20 years. There's no amount of money that's too much when you look at how can I become the best. And then I would say this too, stepping out of your comfort zone. You cannot continue to do the same thing and expect different results. They call that insanity. So definitely being willing to step out of your comfort zone and do something that makes you uncomfortable.
And one of the things that I have learned and I've noticed and observed with going to conferences and being proactive and being prepared is when you get ready to go to a networking event,
Right.
you're getting ready to go to a conference. What are you expecting to get out of it?
Oh,
Don't
that's
just
huge.
show up.
Right.
What are you expecting to get out of it? If it's your business, you're there for business growth and to connect with other people. What's the purpose of the event? Don't just show up to events and know why they're
Right.
connecting.
Exactly.
Why are these people
Right.
coming together?
Right.
Are they really coming together to promote each other's business, to connect, to collaborate, and
Right.
to empower each other, or
Right.
is this like a social group? Because
Exactly.
it makes a difference.
It makes a big difference, Shauna. I always say, it's so important ahead of time to write out a mission statement. Why am I investing my time? Because it takes time, no matter what mode of transportation you take to get to a conference. It takes time to get there, and then while you're there, you're taking time away from your family and time away from other activities. So you want to make sure, what is your mission in terms of going to that conference, so that you're going to look for that. There may be one person that will provide you what it is you went to that conference to get. When you come away from that conference, you went there so that you could learn something that's going to take your business to the very next level. And so you're right. I always say, yes, we should always enjoy ourselves at these conferences, but the main reason we're going is so that we can, as you said, network with others and then learn something that's going to help us take our business to the top.
Okay, and then practice. It's like I think Jean and I was talking earlier about if you want to get better at something, practice and repetition leads to recall. So if you want to make something easier for you, whatever your challenge is, because challenges come up in business all the time. There's always something new that you need to learn to make your business go to that next level.
Exactly.
So what do you need to practice on? What is your area that of your business, of your personality, of you, that you need to say, you know what, I need to work on this, and I need to set aside time to practice, because practice is going to make me more fluent in my
Exactly.
delivery to my clients and my customers.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big believer in that. When I go to conferences, I always come home and immediately I want to put into action something that I've learned. Because if you don't, you'll lose it, you'll forget it. So I always encourage the business owners that I work with to make sure that immediately when you come home, before you leave that conference, and this is something that we do our best to do, is to write down some things, some actions that you're going to take.
Right.
Not just, this was a great conference and I loved her hair looked great, this was a great speaker, but what are you going to put into action that is going to actually increase your results? when you get home. And sometimes you can start doing things before you even leave the
Yes.
conference. Put into action some things that are going to make that investment pay off right away.
And then the process is knowing that some things are not going to happen overnight. It's like the rhizome,
Right.
you know.
Exactly.
Some things are going to you plant a seed in the ground.
Yes.
Some sprout up.
Right.
You can see it within a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Some of them take a year.
Right.
Like the Japanese bamboo that
Yes.
takes about 4 years.
Yes.
So, but you have to keep doing the work,
That's
right?
right.
You have
That's
to keep
right.
doing the work. So,
Exactly.
what would you say to individuals that want instantaneous results or
Well,
instant results?
you know, as they say, Rome was not built in a day. And so, you know, the things that we know today, how many of us can say, "Ooh, yeah, I learned all this overnight." So it's just a fact in life, and I think that's what makes life so fascinating, is that we do get to decide what we're going to do every single day. And so as we continue to do different things, do things maybe that we've never done before, put those things into action, then we expect to see results. And as you said, so what we do is we set short-term type goals, and so things that we do expect to see immediate results, and then there's some long-term goals where we know the short-term goals and the short-term actions that we're taking, the daily actions that we're taking, are going to result in huge goals. And so
Right.
that is the process of continuing to do the work, even though some of these efforts that we're doing may not materialize until later, but when they do, it will be well worth the persistence that we kept up.
Okay, awesome. Well, we are getting to the end of our show. Vera, tell us, what do you have happening? What do you want our audience to know about you?
Well,
How can they connect with you this year?
Okay. So I always have things happening at my studio. I do have a studio located in Mechanicsville, Virginia. If you want to connect with me, you can connect with me through Facebook, Veera Spencer Gray. And then if you want to call me, you can feel free to give me a call, 804-615-5698.
Okay, awesome. And Vera and I have something going on the 19th at 3 p.m. at the studio.
we do.
So if I'll put this information in the comments of this video.
Yes.
And if you want to come out, hey, we'll party.
It's going to be so much fun. 3 p.m. Shawna will be there. You have to come out. And you know what? You can bring your men friends. You can bring your daughters, your sisters, your moms. But definitely 3 p.m. on January the 19th. Thank you for that reminder, Shawna.
Okay, yes. So for me, I have a book coming out. This is the cover. I know you can barely see it. This is just a draft of it, but it's coming out at the end of this month. And it is called Goddess Awakening, Rise Woman. And it's time for women to rise. Remember that you are gold, always refining. And we are here to collaborate, to connect, to make our presence some contribution, a generational gift to nations. That's what we do as women. We're not here to compete with each other. We're just here to contribute and to say to my sister, how can I contribute to your life? And no one is going to carry the load for you. You have to decide what you want. So if you want clarity, connect with me. Let's talk about what is it that you want to create in 2020. Jean has something for Vera.
Goodness. How nice. Well, thank you. I love gifts. Thank you. Yes.
Awesome.
Yay. Thank you.
Great. So we have one more segment coming up for our 2-day marathon. Vera, do you have any final words?
Shawna, thank you for the opportunity. I was just sitting here thinking, and the thing that I would want to say to current business owners is to make sure you reach back, do your best to help someone else own their own business. And again, those of you who are considering owning a business, make sure you reach up to someone who already owns a business.
Wow, that is powerful. So thank you for joining. This is Shawna Halley, Transformation Power Hour. Honoring the goddess right there. I'm just getting kind of muffled there. Let's have some fun. There's nothing serious happening here.
Exactly.
So let's have some fun.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing you in our next segment at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Is it 11? No, it's not 11 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock.
All right.
It's all good though. It's all good. Imperfect start. Imperfect.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward. Imperfectly.
Exactly. Harmony.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.